Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Arkansas Wrestling Unleashed. I appreciate y'all tuning in. I gotta fix something real quick. Pop, there's my little comment bubble. I forgot about that. And yes, as I put up there right as I kicked on, this episode is dedicated to Enforcer Jim Chitty, who we lost this week, and I hope he realizes how many lives that man touched. And That's about all I'm gonna say because I ain't gonna get choked up on here. Because yeah, I definitely would. But as normal, we are gonna go through all the different flyers that I have collected over the last 2 weeks for the upcoming wrestling shows. And just remember that if you do not see your flyer from your show on here, that just means either I didn't see it or you didn't send it to me. So if you want to be promoted on here, make sure you send me your info. I know a lot of you do, but man, there's still a lot that don't. I just have to come across it. So anyway, as we roll along here, let's start out with this Friday. MCW in Osceola will be in action as always. Uh, Looks like we got a major matchup there. Austin Molotov, and I hope I said that correctly, against Aaron Roberts. Man, and that right there, that is going to be a killer match. Then we roll into Saturday, the White Lightning Memorial Show. Jerry Smith, who passed away last year, they are going to be back in Osceola on Saturday. Rare Saturday show in Osceola there, but make sure you tune in if you're in the area. Also that day, TNR presents Chill Out in Leechville, Arkansas. Leechville, Arkansas. Also on the 17th, good Lord, there's a lot of shows on this Saturday. You've got Mutiny. Mutiny? Yeah, Mutiny Wrestling Federation. They are going to. Why is this? This got cut off a little bit. Sorry about that. They are going to be in Fayetteville, Arkansas. Then you also over in Tuckerman, you got MACW New Beginnings, and this is always one of the top shows in the state when they run. Should be a good one. Also on Saturday, Tornado Pro Wrestling will be in Greenwood, Arkansas. Greenwood. I had to make sure I specified because I kept calling it Greenland. It's Greenwood, Arkansas. And you might see a couple of monsters in action there. I don't know, maybe. Then the 24th, SCW at the uh, Southern Championship Wrestling will be in Batesville, Arkansas, doing the Mr. Excitement Memorial Show dedicated to a lot of the Arkansas legends that we have lost over the years. Also, they're going to be rolling over into Bay, Arkansas on the 31st, Crushing for Christ. They are going to be in Bay, Arkansas. If you're over in the area, make sure you check them out. We got February 7th, Gladiator Championship Wrestling will be in Dardanelle, Arkansas. And as you see on the flyer there, Mike Bennett will be in action. And I do believe there will be a seminar that day as well. So if you are able to, make sure you attend that. Also on February 7th, Inhumane Championship Wrestling will be in Corning, Arkansas. Yes, Erica, I literally just showed TNR's flyer. So, bleh. Anyway, Inhumane Championship Wrestling will be in Corning, Arkansas. And these guys always put on a hell of a show as well. So make sure you go check them out. Also on the 7th, Hype and Glory will be in Texarkana with Mike Quackenbush. Oh, excuse me. Mike Quackenbush down in Texarkana. That is going to be a killer event. And we roll over here on the 7th. Dirty Water from APW. Now, I just got to gush. I love that name. Freaking love that name. Dirty Water. But they will be in Marianna, Arkansas. February 7th. And I apologize if I'm flowing through these pretty quick. There's quite a few, though. But I just want to make sure we get everybody. On the 13th, Headlocks and Heartbreak. Wild card will be in Rector, Arkansas. They are going to have Rich Holiday, Austin Aries, and I believe Chase Stevens as well. So that should be a killer show. You're also going to have a seminar from Austin Aries. So if you are able, check it out. February 14th, Haybarn Championship Wrestling returns to Prescott. And then you see right there, uh, Viral, Viral Strange and Reza Clark. Man, I'm telling you right now, that match right there is worth the money itself. Also on that day, OCW will be in Black Rock, Arkansas for the good, the bad, and the brutal Valentine. You see right there, brutal Bob Evans, Enzo Amore, the Good Brothers, and Abaddon. I'm telling you right now, if you are up in that area, you have got to check that show out. That is going to be a killer show. The 27th, we are going to roll back over to APW, All Pro Wrestling, where they will be in Jacksonville for curtain. I can't even talk today. I don't know what's going on, but they will be there for a show they're calling Convergence. We're going to roll around over here to Springdale, Arkansas for what was it? Razor Pro Wrestling. This is actually a newer show. I'm not sure exactly who's running it, but man, they're calling this Rebirth, and damn it, if they ain't rebirthing, I don't know what they're doing because that is a killer lineup. I see Dan the Dad on there. Is Dan the Dad on there? That right there, that's awesome. All right, so February 28th, wild card. Hopefully, the show is still going on. I know that at their Diaz location, they are having some issues with the heating there. So I'm not sure, but hopefully this show will still be going on. You know, especially you got Teal Piper coming in. Hopefully that's still going. All Pro Wrestling on the 7th there of March. They are going to be back in Marianna for the Rudder. This is one I think that they had to reschedule multiple times because of different odds and ends, but hopefully they can finally get this one going. Also, I got a lot of All Pro Wrestling going on here. So on the 21st, you got Gold Rush. Then on April 11th, you got Riverside Showdown. They are going to be in West Memphis. Then on April 18th, the P-Dub Brawl. It's a fundraiser in Palestine. And then on May 9th, oh God, I didn't even notice the name of this one. 6-7. Really? Really, guys? That's okay, though. But they will be in Marianna, Arkansas for that show. So, yeah. So there is a lot of wrestling going on coming up. I'm telling you right now. I don't care what anybody says. Arkansas wrestling is booming right now. I mean, there is a lot of phenomenal shows going on. There's a lot of good stuff happening, you know. So make sure you get out and check it out. And if you're not in Arkansas and you're a wrestler and you want to wrestle in Arkansas, hit me up. I got a list of different shows and who to contact. So make sure you hit me up and I'll get you the list. But without further ado, though, I am not alone today. Of course not, because this is Arkansas Wrestling Unleashed, and I can't do this alone. So I think, yeah, I think I'm gonna bring in probably the best DJ in the state of Arkansas in wrestling in general, and a guy that is just freaking awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, it's hold on, Clown. Did I say it right?
That's right. How you doing, bud?
Man, I'm good, man. I'm glad to see you on here. Hey Roger, that was one of the first ones that popped up, man. Got to get in here early to get all the fires in, man. Clown. Let's talk for a second. I want to see if the echo that I was having issues with is there or not.
Microphone checker 1 2 1 2.
Okay, so anybody watching, if Clown has that massive echo like we had last week, let me know. Because I know what button to push. I just don't want to push it if it's wrong. So, oh man, well,
You're pushing the wrong button.
yeah, some loop back thingy. I don't know, but man, I appreciate you coming on today, man. I'm
Thanks for
really
having me out, dude. This is cool.
uh when it comes to okay, Tab said there is no echo. Sweet. All right. So oh my lord, all of a sudden my phone decided to explode. Um Anyway, you're probably one of the most versatile guys that outside of say maybe KT that I have had on here that with the wide variety of things that you deal with when it comes to wrestling in general.
Right.
Um, let's start off with this is one of the questions I usually ask most people when we get started off. What originally got you interested into wrestling to begin with?
Man, I was an 80s kid, so the rock and wrestling era, I grew up in that. But my parents being the way they were, we didn't have a lot of access to watch the wrestling. I would catch glimpses of it on Saturday mornings, and then the cartoon was okay for me to watch. But all the rest of that, they didn't let me, they limited my access to a lot of things. So I didn't really actually get into wrestling until I was in college. And it's when we got into ICP. Then ICP got into Raw. So that's how I started watching wrestling. Was just watching them, and then they were there for just a little bit and gone. But I stayed around and watching Stone Cold and The Rock and do all their hookup, and then I just never really stopped. Yeah, so started watching on the regular then, and then I went around about the end of 2000, 2001 is when I found ECW as they were going away. But through all the tapes and stuff that friends of mine had, we got up on my history, and yeah, I've ever
So
since.
I love to hear that like and this is gonna be the way weird way I termed it, but a musical act got you into professional wrestling.
Right.
Uh, I love hearing that. Yeah, and P, I saw that, man. Congrats. I'm glad to see that. Ricky, I got your message already, so I know what's going on. Anyway, uh, but no, man. I just love that it's such a wrestling is such a wide variety of types of people that get involved. You could have a locker room with this guy over here it sells roofing materials, this guy's a DJ. This guy works at a bank. This guy over here is a nurse. I mean, just it to see the variety of types of people that are into this is just amazing. So so for you, and we'll get into the music stuff a little bit later. We're gonna focus on the wrestling side of it right now, though. How did you actually start to become involved in wrestling itself?
Oh man, well, I went to go see the Boogeyman up there in Memphis one time, and then man, I got hooked on their crowd. Their crowd is awesome. I love everybody up there.
So much.
Lewis and that whole section over there, the Funky Five. Those guys are those guys are the jam. And so we just kept coming back, and then Dustin's like, "Hey, we got this school. I could teach you how to be a referee or a cameraman or anything other than a wrestler." Like that sounds like maybe what I want to do. So I got in the ring. I tried to learn the wrestling stuff, honestly, man, but it's tough. I injured my neck like almost instantly. Like in the first 2 weeks,
Oh wow.
you start learning how to take those bumps, and you don't do them right, it's wrong. So
Yeah, you'll definitely strengthen up certain muscles that you didn't know you had.
for sure. And I don't know. I kind of found out quickly that in ring action was not going to be my jam. So, but I kept plugging up at it. Through other injuries, I got injured at work at my real job, and that put me out of action for a long time. Uh, so then, yeah, when I got back to training after I broke my foot, it was like referee seemed like the way to roll. So that's where we are now. I'm just kind of trying to get my reps in on that, going just about anywhere I can.
And I'll tell you right
And
now, you're one of my favorite referees, like hands down, easily. you definitely. They always say that a good referee can make or break a referee can make or break a match.
Right.
Uh, a bad referee will make a good match look like crap. And
Oh, I've done that too.
I have not personally seen it. You
You
know,
weren't there, but I done it.
that happened. And real like I at one point I had a match, and I was not aware that our referee, it was his first match he was ever ref, and basically something geetered up, and he went for that 1, 2, 3, and he went 1, 2, and stopped. Oh man, and it just like we had a really good match going until that point, and just like, oh, that just like made everything deflate. But I mean,
Yeah,
and that's part of the learning experience too. If I'd have
right,
known it was new, I would have known how to work around that. But anyway,
right.
uh,
But I don't know, I think I left out a big piece of the story, man. In between the time of when I started up at Memphis Wrestling's training school, uh, just following K Toomer on Facebook, he put out a call to have some extras in a promo video he was shooting up there in Little Rock.
yeah,
So my buddies and I went down there and we played villains in his little movie, and told him, hey, what would be the best way for me to get in this? He's like, man, y'all go holler at Dustin. If you want to be a manager or a referee, he will teach you how to do that. So here we are now.
wait, that's the first time that you and KT actually hooked up and worked together?
Yeah, I was just a fan up until that day that we went and shot that video or whatever
Really?
for the Grind City Rumble 21.
Yeah, yeah, I remember seeing the video. I thought the way y'all act with each other, I thought y'all been friends for years. So that's awesome, man. I like hearing that though.
Yeah,
Uh,
no, I met KT. We all met KT with October, November, 2021.
oh wow, okay,
Yeah,
that's awesome.
and so
So
but like KT's right on the way in between where I live and Memphis. So we just started linking up on the try to save some gas here and there.
right,
And
I understand that
and
completely.
so but yeah, and over the last couple years, man, I am 100% team Fat Jitsu, dog.
Even now, even now.
Oh yeah, 100%. I've I've taken my licks for it. I think uh I think I'm even more team Fat Jitsu, you know what I mean? I've taken the abuse for it. Stood up, tried to stand up for the school, and well, that's one of the reasons I found out early I'm not supposed to be inside those ropes unless
But
I got a little shirt on with stripes on it.
but have you had any actual matches yet?
Here and there, I wrestled a couple of matches for Natural State. Uh, Brad Skimmerhorn has a loud mouth, and one day I forget where we were at the Mosquito Fest,
Yes,
and
yeah.
he
Now,
got to mouth, and he pushed Sleazy down, and man, that hurt my feelings, so I kind of had to jump in there, and well, the video is out there. Y'all can see how it went. So back to the drawing board. So I
no,
don't know.
that's how you get that experience in, and that's all. A lot of times, a lot of your better referees have actually had some kind of experience like that, even if
Right,
it's just a handful of times, because you learn how these guys do certain things, so that way you know how you need to do certain things. So it's a great experience to learn like that.
right,
But
right. I
I'm
grew up
still
fighting. I'm a knucklehead by heart, but inside those ropes is a whole different story than out on the street.
I'm waiting on my turn now. So, you know.
But yeah, somebody needs to shut Brad up.
I meant
Maybe
you.
maybe we'll find somebody, or maybe it'll be me. We'll see.
No,
This year's gonna be weird.
I meant me and you. I need my clown match. So, you
Oh
know.
goodness. I definitely ain't ready for that. You can ask several people. I'm definitely not ready for that.
Oh, no, no, no. It'd be easy stuff, man. But All right, so you are repping at some more the local shows and stuff like that, but in Memphis, you're the music guy, ain't you?
Right,
Yeah,
right.
and you've created a lot of the actual entrance themes and stuff like that, but,
I
how
wouldn't
did
say a lot. I have done a few.
oh, okay. But, I mean, how did you wind up in that position?
Um, well, when I started with the training school or whatever, just they had us out there as security guards and ushers,
Yeah.
things of that nature. And shout out to Liddell Beeman, Dustin's original DJ. I kind of started hanging out with him over on his side since that's what I do in my spare time. That's what he does. I just always kind of gravitated towards him, and he asked me if I wanted to do a few minutes before each show or whatever, and asked Dustin if he was cool with that. He said cool. So I started playing, about 30, 45 minutes before each show, and then packing up and going to do my backstage duties and stuff. And then Liddell's gone on to do his thing, and Dustin asked me if I wanted to do it full time. Sweet. So before that, I was back there assisting Neil, our director, uh,
Okay.
doing timekeeping and running stuff back and forth, just whatever I could, learning every single drop of information I could sponge up.
Dude, and that's a good position to be in too. I mean, you learning the behind the scenes stuff and how things
Right.
go, especially on TV. That how they do things. Because anybody that's worked, like regular indie shows and like a TV style show, they'll tell you it's a completely different demon on
Right.
that. Has there been any kind of learning curve for you when it comes to that?
Yeah, there's always a learning curve with me because of my severe anxiety and mental scatterbrainedity. But
I get
yeah,
that.
but I don't know. When I was back there sitting next to Neil, man, I was just sucking up everything that I possibly could. Uh, and because you never know, you got to get ready and stay ready in this business. One day we taped an episode of TV on a Saturday night, and Neil couldn't be there, so it was me in the chair back there switching the cameras.
Oh wow,
So that was pretty cool. I got to actually direct an episode of Memphis Wrestling TV,
that's awesome,
and
man.
it's pretty dope.
Well, what are your like wrestling wise? What are your aspirations going forward? I mean, what do you want to accomplish in wrestling?
Um, Man, I just kind of want to go where pro wrestling thinks it needs me, if it needs me at all. You know what I mean? Uh, I just want to be a good hand. I want to learn there's a lot of ins and outs, especially behind the scenes. Uh, you know, I just want to learn it all. I'm still very much in mouth closed, eyes open mode. You know what I mean? Uh, like I said, just go in any place that I can, and I learn from anybody that I can.
And there's nothing wrong
What's
with that,
up, Jeremy? Philip, how y'all? Whoop whoop.
Philip. Why, Philip? Why do we need to pause? Oh, Lord, that's every
Oh, the
time.
big man's in the house.
Yeah, that's
All
normal.
right.
That's normal. All right, so we've kind of discussed, like wrestling wise, and before we move into something else, I gotta ask, what so far? I know you've been more on the referee side, in your music and stuff like that, and all, but when it comes to being involved in wrestling, outside of getting to produce that one episode, what has been you? What do you feel has been your highlight? That since you've been doing this, what's been that moment that just sticks with you?
Man, being out in front of the FedEx Forum before the Grizzlies game, out there with my sound system, just doing my thing, and just having Memphis out there bouncing with me, just thousands of people. Man, that could have not been possible without wrestling. You know what I mean? It's just so much fun. You know what I mean? I go out there, and when I DJ, I play stuff that I like, and it tickles me to death to see somebody else likes it too. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Well,
So
now
yeah,
that
like
oh, go ahead. No, I was gonna say now we've kinda, breezed through the wrestling side of things. I know there's something that's been a bigger part of your life, and that's music.
right.
So, what how exactly, let's say let's I'm having one of those tongue twister days. Hold on before we go here. KT's got a good comment right there. I believe in giving people their flowers. Clown is one of the real ones, bro. A single handedly reason why a lot locally has worked, and I will 100% agree with that. Uh, yeah, got a co-star there. So,
Yeah, man. Just can't
but
stand it.
But no, no, what a like, I know everybody's like, "Oh, I've listened to music all my life and everything like that." But what originally got you into wanting to actually be a part of the scene?
Part of like our scene.
Well, a part of music in general, like actually wanting to pursue it, not just listen. Yeah, if that makes sense the way I worded
Oh,
that.
right. Well, I've always kind of written. I wrote stories and poetry and stuff and all that stuff when I was a kid, and then when I got the hip hop bug when I was in junior high, I don't know, it just seemed kind of like a natural progression. And then when it became a little bit easier for the common person to get recording equipment and get all that stuff going on in your house, and then it became like a way for my friends and I to just hang out and be together. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just do our thing and not have to go be amongst public. We can just do us. And it started out just like a little bedroom project. And then this person heard it, that person heard it, say, "Oh, well, you should go over here. You should play a show over here. Do this, that," and then it just kind of snowballed. Really,
So what was your first live event?
October 2003. No, my first live event, man. 1998. We
Wow.
were up at we went up to the K Hits radio studio. There's a little radio station back in the day. We were on the Todd and Lucas show. We were just kind of hanging out in the studio or whatever. And my girlfriend mentioned to the DJs that I did the thing. So they were like, "Oh well, we got to have you back out to do it." So I got to do my thing like live on the radio, like the actual radio back in the day on like one of the most popular morning shows or whatever. It was awesome. So yeah, that was I guess my first live performance.
Oh, wow. What were you feeling going into doing that?
Um, Absolute terror. But but Todd and Lucas, man, they were just cool dudes. I love those guys. I have no idea where they went. That was before the internet, and so shouts out to Todd and Lucas wherever they might be and or not be.
Well, I know, most of us know you as a DJ. A lot some of the others of us know you as an actual, like I say that weird the way I just said that, but as a musician yourself, uh, how do you distinguish between which way you wanna go with what made you distinguish that you wanted to be more of a DJ than a musician? If that make does that make sense the way I'm wording
Oh, that
that?
makes perfect sense, man. It all came down to money, man. The bars wanted a DJ to come play karaoke. They didn't want a goofy white dude up there rapping about mental illness. So there was that. That's really how I got mainly started in the DJ and stuff. Is a girl that I went to high school with had a bar and wanted to DJ, and I had a laptop with a very extensive music collection, and I would just play stuff for the folks in the bar, and then we moved up to me doing karaoke, and then I My buddy Wildo, shouts out to Wildo Forever 501,
I love him.
gave me a couple Pioneer CDJ 1000s, and which are considered ancient technology now, but they were the most awesome thing that I'd ever owned at the time. You know what I mean? And I
Yeah.
had me like a little cheap Denon mixer, and I learned how to beat match a little bit. Uh, Not fully by ear, of course, not like vinyl dudes do it. I had my little digital display, so it's kind of like a video game almost. But yeah, it really, like I said, just come all the way down to money. I was making X amount of dollars per week being a DJ, and wasn't nobody booking me to come sing shows. So there it is.
Well, do you still do shows as a musician?
It's about to start back up. My buddy DMJ and I have been making a record probably about the last year or so, getting a bunch of beats together and doing a lot of. I've been learning a lot of the production side of music, what it takes to like build a beat from the ground up and like really understand what's going on sonically and like mathematically and all that stuff in the frequencies and stuff like that. It's a it's a big old puzzle to get all that stuff to fit together, and I'm glad I have smart friends that can do it.
I know I sat back and I watched you and KT putting stuff together at one time and all, and I was just sitting there going, "How the fuck did that work? What?" I was so confused. I was like, "I can do all sorts of cool shit, now, but I cannot. I can't fathom how your mind can put together stuff like that, man. It just it amazes me, you know.
Yeah, there's so many little intricate bits and pieces and nuts and bolts. Um, Toomer's really good about that. He understands which goes where, and that's a lot easier to deal with.
Well, and it's good that
He's real
y'all
fun.
some of that stuff, you know. I mean, you know, it you can help his faults, he can help your faults. Y'all work together, man. Y'all make some killer stuff, you know, at least from what I've heard and that I hear on a regular basis, but we're not gonna get into that one. Uh, oh man. But yeah, I'm really fascinated by that side of it. But uh let me ask you real quick because I know you don't have to give away your real name and all that stuff and all, but the clown six, that is a six, right? Yeah.
Yep.
I ain't got my glasses on. Where did that come from?
Um, I told you I struggle with mental illness, and one of the things is OCD. And like since I was a little kid, I counted everything in sixes. My steps, my beats to my speech pattern, everything was just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't know why. It's a groovy little pattern. I don't know.
Huh.
Six is just a good number. And originally, when the internet first came out, and I got my first email address, I just put the six on the end of the clown, and that. And then somebody actually started. One of my friends actually started calling me Clown Six, and it just kind of stuck. And I don't know. It's
I don't know. I guess I went dyslexic for a long time because I thought it was four, and I was like, "There's
I get
three
that
of
a lot. I get
'em."
that a whole lot.
And it's just when you see something, you glance real quick past it, and it's like, oh wait, no." But man,
Yeah, I get that's when I first started using it, but like what it means, man, is there's a couple different meanings for it, really. Um, there's two sides to every story, and I have three personalities, so there's always six realities going on
I
where I live.
remember when I had three personalities.
It can be a lot to deal with sometimes.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to get off track on that. Oh lord, but no,
Come
no,
back to us now, big bro.
yeah. But no, it was it's interesting. I love where, you know, like, people, you know, come up with certain things and all. It fascinates. There's a lot of things that fascinate me. I'm just easily fascinated, I guess. I don't know. But, well, before we get into, you said you had a couple of things that you wanted to throw out there that you got coming up. Before we get into that, uh, when it comes to like wrestling or music or anything like that, when somebody is wanting to get involved in something along those lines and all, what kind of advice would you give them?
Do your research. Definitely do the research, and I don't know if you feel uncomfortable somewhere where you are, or you man, just go. 'Cause there's always somewhere else. But I don't know. I really honestly just kind of lucked into it. You know what I mean? I was completely oblivious to a lot of the indie wrestling going on in Arkansas.
Yeah.
That like apparently even back in 21, there's a bunch of different stuff running on because you guys are already going strong, real strong. So, like I said, I just stumbled into it.
Well, I mean, and that happens sometimes. That's honestly that with me, I was I didn't know when I first got into. I didn't know anything about wrestling on the indie level at all. I
Right.
was doing dumbass backyard stuff. Just me and my buddies having fun, and
Oh, I did plenty of that. We did
uh,
that 20 years ago.
well, it just so happened that one of the guys that was doing it with us, he worked with Josh Cross and brought him by the house, and Josh was like, "Hey, you want to train?" Yeah, and he opened my whole world up. So I mean, that's how it happens sometimes, just by circumstance. But so what you said you had a couple announcements for coming up. What you got going on, man?
Oh man, on Friday, February 13th, Wildo, myself, are teaming up over at Arkansas Heretic, which is at the corner of Kavanaugh and University. Cool little spot. We're having a My Bloody Valentine's party. So horror themed Valentine's party. Wildo and I are gonna put on solo sets, and I got my homies in 540 coming to do a set. And man, they haven't been around in a while, but they are some awesome rappers from here in the A, and they are super dope. And I'm really glad to have them on the bill. Uh, I should have had the flyer up by now, but I have been slacking on the graphics. And Lucas Tubbs is supposed to be in charge of that for me. He's handling it all. He's just waiting on me. And that is my fault. I've been very, very busy this week. Been a whole bunch of stuff going on in the world of wrestling, the world of music, in my real job, uh, the kid stuff, home stuff, plumbing stuff. It's crazy. So yeah,
Yeah.
February 13th, uh, corner of Kavanaugh and University, Heretic, Arkansas. Your Bloody Valentine party, horror theme, macabre, masquerade ball, Valentine's party with me and Wildo and some other cool stuff.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. I'm hoping. I'm very much hoping I can make it to that, man. Uh,
Word. It should be a lot of fun, man. My friends Tommy and Melissa from Brand Production Studios here in Pine Bluff, they're coming up. They're gonna set up a little like a photo booth. They're gonna build our stage for us. It's gonna be rad. Uh, they do all kind of cool stuff over there at Brand Production Studios. Y'all holler at them. Shout out to Tommy and Melissa.
Jeremy said he's gonna try to do there. So, hell yeah, man. Glad to hear that. What else you got coming up, man?
Let's see, dog.
Not just music wise, just in general.
Let's see. Me and my boys are going down to Dallas to see Acid Bath here pretty soon. It's gonna be rad.
Acid bath. What is
Acid
that?
Bath.
I
Acid
don't.
Bath?
Yeah, I
You don't
don't
know
know.
Acid Bath?
No.
Louisiana death metal. Well, a little more like doom, gloomy. Look them up. Acid Bath
I
from New
will.
Orleans. They're rad. Old school band that just recently got together doing a reunion tour. It's a big
Oh,
deal.
okay. Okay.
Freaking what other cool stuff that we got going on? Man, I'm doing shows with Natural State Wrestling. what, March
March 7th.
7th? March 7th.
I'll be
Uh,
there.
doggone, I'm doing stuff with APW 100 Wrestling. Uh, having a whole lot of fun, just jumping around, seeing cool people that I know from other spots show up over here. It's like, oh shoot, you're here. That's what's up. You know,
Yeah.
that's the fun part of wrestling. I get to drive around and go eat places that are new, and I get to go see some cool people, meet some new people, and act a fool in front of a bunch of strangers.
I completely understand that. I understand that. And that's one thing about wrestling, wrestling on my part of it and all is the expansion of this basically this big ass family you create with all
Right.
these different people, from different walks of life. Like I think we were talking about earlier before we went on the air. Just these different people that you would like. KT, me and KT probably would never have known each other if it wasn't for wrestling. You know,
Right.
and he ain't gonna be hanging out with my goofy ass for no reason. So I mean, but
You know, well, you'd be surprised, man. KT's pretty laid back, easy to get along with, man.
yeah, but I try to avoid Little Rock, so I probably wouldn't have done it.
Heard that.
Oh Lord, what's going on, Patrick? Good to see you on here, man. Uh,
Hey, another one of my old school backyard wrestling homeboys.
he that's one of my other favorite referees right here. I love that guy, man. Uh, but no, so one thing I like to pop out there from time to time is, and this doesn't necessarily have to be wrestling related. It could be just in general, since you do, wrestling and music and all that stuff and all. But man, I know you got to have a great road story to throw out there. You got to have a good road story.
uh, well, like I said, I've only been around a few short years. I don't have any, nothing super duper epic. Just getting it done. You know what I mean? Going down to ROW, Reality of Wrestling down there at Booker T show. Riding in the car down there with Mike, Anthony, and K Toomer from Memphis Wrestling going down there, and just those two are funny together because KT's really laid back and Mike Anthony is full on intense. When you see Mike Anthony on TV, that's how he is in the car. That's how he is in Waffle House. That's how he is at Target. And man, it's sometimes it's fun, sometimes it's difficult to be around at 3 in the morning at Whataburger. But shouts
He's
out to Mike Anthony. I wouldn't want to have nobody else in my car, when I'm in a strange place. Cause ain't nobody messing with Mike Anthony.
the dude is so intense, man. He is like you could be like me. I'm not a small individual. I'm a pretty big guy myself and all. That dude intimidates the shit out of me. Like he is an extremely intimidating person, but also too, one of the nicest guys. When
Right.
hold on, we got here. KT snoring in the passenger seat, then wakes up, continues conversation from an hour.
That is 100% true. KT, we will all right. We will get in the car in Memphis. By the time we get across the river, he's snoring. And then he'll wake up for 3 seconds, ask me, "Hey man, how the kid been doing?" And before I can get my answer out, it's hilarious. But it's it's really funny. I dig it.
Oh Lord have mercy.
But when
He
he is awake, man, he's a fountain of knowledge. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
like just about life stuff, about wrestling stuff, about anime. Uh, man, we talk a lot about Samurai Code. I learned a lot about just dealing with life and people
Yeah.
on a more professional level, on a more stoic level, and on a more just try to even keel. You know, he's
Yeah.
Timber gets really intense, but only when it's time. You know what I'm saying? He doesn't deal with everything in like with a fiery emotion. You know what I'm saying? Like I sometimes had tend to do in the past because I just don't. It takes me a long time to comprehend stuff, and if something's coming at me real fast, man, sometimes it makes me angry and I wig out.
I get that. I have to do that with Bruce. Bruce is the angry one. I'm the calm one. So yeah,
Yeah,
like,
Bruce is also another one of those ones that I've been on the road with. You know, I went to the gathering with Bruce.
oh
We camped together at the gathering, and he and his daughter. And
yeah,
man, that was just to see him out there doing his thing at the gathering. Man, that's an incredible road story. You know that this year's gathering was nuts. Uh, like we went, Wildo had like a seizure, and we had to take him to the hospital. So like
yeah.
that was crazy. Um, but like he got out, and they took real good care of him. He taught me how to take care of him in that situation, so I feel like a lot more calm now. The first time it happened, I freaked out, but everything is all good. Shouts out to Will though once again. Yeah, this year's gathering was just absolutely crazy.
Didn't didn't you get to actually work a tryout match with them?
No, I did not get to go to the tryout because I was at the hospital,
Oh, okay, okay.
but I did. Barnabas gave me a call like just a couple months later when ICP came through Little Rock or no, Fayetteville and Memphis. They needed a ref for JCW, and Barnabas got me hooked up with those guys, and I got to ref 2 shows for JCW. And man, that right there,
Dude, that
that's top titty right there.
yeah, I remember seeing that, and I was waiting for you to bring that up.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
guess as far as epic road stories goes, that's pretty good one.
well, and
Uh,
one of the things I try to do this on this is I try to just kind of lean you towards certain ways. I want people to not necessarily brag, but I want people to put themselves over because the way I look at it is you earn what you receive. And clown
oh,
dude,
thanks, man.
you yeah, you legitimately all these opportunities you've got, and all these different things that you've done, you've earned every bit of it, and so you should be proud of what you've done. You
Thank
should
you.
be proud of yourself. I'm over the moon proud of you, man. Because I mean, like I know, we don't get to hang out that much anything outside of shows and stuff like that. But I mean, I consider you a very close friend of mine. I consider you family, and when I see you succeed, that makes me smile, and I've smiled a lot for you, man, seriously.
Right. I appreciate it, man. I've being kind of adopted into y'all's little gang, man, has really been like a blessing. You know, because you guys are always a fountain of knowledge. You know, with wrestling, with road stuff, with just dealing with people stuff. You know what I mean? Y'all have so many different perspectives on things. You know what I mean? And different experiences. And so it's cool to be able to pull from all those different you know sources. You know, some of y'all really got it together, and some of us really don't. You know what I'm saying? But I like to hear those viewpoints too. You know what I'm saying? So
We
to try to help me make sense of my own whatever's up there.
Oh, man. No, okay, well, we are getting roughly around my cutoff time. I try to keep it under an hour, but, man,
Whatever.
before I mean, we still got a little bit before that and all like that, man. Is there anything else you wanna just throw out there? Anything else you wanna talk about? Any of that?
Man, I don't know. I gotta if we're putting folks over, man, I gotta put over Memphis Wrestling. My run with them these last 4 years have been absolutely life changing. Uh, Summer of 2021, man, I quit my job because my mental health started affecting my physical health, and I was just completely lost, really. Uh, my wife here holding it down. Is shouts out to Nessa. Uh, but I don't know, yeah. So like when I found Memphis Wrestling, it was like I don't know, just a goal. You know what I mean? I didn't have any goals at the time. I was okay. I can something to do. And I had to fight through a whole bunch of crap. Now, my first night of training on my way home, I hit a deer, busted my radiator.
Oh shit.
And it's like then, like I said, I was taking bumps wrong. I hurt my back, had a kidney infection. My dad died on Christmas Day. I got COVID on Christmas Day. And it was just like everything was telling me, you should quit. Just quit. It'd be easy to quit right now because you have so much on your plate. But instead of doing that, I got a little bit more focused, and I don't know. It cleared a path. You know what I mean? It made me it made it easier to compartmentalize everything that was going on and prioritize things. And like I said, as soon as I started traveling around with KT and Will and even Gaston's goofy self, I've learned from all of them. You know what I mean? And it's like I said, it's been awesome, and being up there at Memphis Wrestling, like I said, getting to be in front of those huge crowds. I got I got two coming up in March, the 20th and the 21st, I think. I'm going to be one at a Grizzlies game, and then I'm going to be at a Hustle game the very next night. Man, it's going to be awesome.
Oh
Those
wow.
are so much fun.
Yeah, I
And I
don't
don't know.
get to do those very often because
And my son's a real big basketball fan, so and a Grizzlies fan at that. So when I get to take him up there, it's like I'm super dad. So
hell yeah.
it's like he doesn't come to the shows and stuff that much anymore unless we're going to go up there to the arena and do stuff like that. Then he wants to go. He went to Dyersburg with me this last year, and it was awesome. Jeremy, the gorgeous one, love you, dog.
Man, that was KT popped that up a little bit ago. I just want to make sure you saw those.
Oh no, I'm reading them. I'm reading them, man. I appreciate y'all so much. Like I couldn't even imagine this a few years ago. You know what I mean? Like I said, I was just so
Easy.
lost. Just everything's felt really dead end, but it was really kind of it's my own little mental blocks or whatever. I don't know. It's all life. No, it's all real confusing sometimes. It gets all a whirlwind. I don't. It's hard to keep my calendar straight. It's hard to keep my nutrition straight. Sometimes it's trying hard to keep my sleep straight. Sometimes, you know, but I love every bit of it. You know what I mean?
I understand 100%. You've seen some of my shit I posted stuff like that. I'm all over
Like
on that
I
thought process.
I can't imagine doing anything else now. You know what I mean?
It's like when you go to your regular job, you're just like, I could be kicking somebody in the face right now. Damn it.
Well, that's everything now. Man, I'm really, really super happy and satisfied with my real shoot job. Man, they take really good care of me over there, and I do everything I can to take good care of them. Uh, they I've only had to miss one wrestling show because of my job in the 4 years that I've been doing this, and that's dope. So shouts out to Johnny over at Trotters. That's my dude.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. And anybody watching, yeah, I know this is Arkansas Wrestling Unleashed, and we're talking a lot about Memphis. But the thing is, though, is if you look at Memphis Wrestling's roster, there's a lot of Arkansas wrestlers on it.
Yeah, they represent Arkansas pretty well, man. And like I said, a lot getting into this. I was a fan before I got into the world,
Yeah.
and now I get to learn this business from some of the people I was already a fan of. You know what I mean? Like Mike Anthony. I was watching Mike Anthony back in the TCW days, dog.
Oh wow.
When Matt Riviera was running around, and
You just
and
called blank.
CWA. Um, I loved going to those shows when my son was real little. You know what I mean? Now, so my son has grown up with Mike Anthony. It's awesome. You know what I mean? He's grown up with K Toomer, and he's grown up with Dustin Starr. He's grown up with Big Swole and The Gun Show. You know, these are all my kids' childhood heroes, and they're the people that I work with. It's sweet, man.
Well, and on top of that, getting to meet a lot of these guys that are at the actual top, like Sandman, Tommy Dreamer.
Oh, yeah, brother. Like I
Yeah.
said, we
Oh,
are talking a lot about Memphis. You know, this is Arkansas, but man, Memphis has done a lot for me. Um, they when Butterbean came through Memphis, I got to make a theme song for Butterbean. Like the song when you hear when Butterbean comes out in Memphis Wrestling is made by me. I made a song for AJ Francis. I got to make a song for Violent J. Violent J's entrance music in Memphis Wrestling was made by me and my homeboy Death Metal John. Shouts out to Johan Draman. I do a lot of shouts out on this because I couldn't do this without none of these folks. You know what I mean? Everything that I do is a little tiny piece of everybody that I've ever met.
that is awesome, man. I love hearing that. Well, man, we are getting ready to wrap up. You got any final words you want to give everybody?
Uh, Fight back. 665. Whoop whoop.
All
If you
right.
don't
Well,
know, get to where you know.
I'll ask you after we go off there. I'm gonna drop you down, man. Clown, I appreciate you coming on tonight, man. Really enjoyed the conversation. And as I've told you before, you're welcome anytime, man. I really enjoyed it.
I don't know. I appreciate you having me out, dude. Thank y'all, and thanks everybody in the chat. I appreciate y'all so much. Y'all are why I do this. Thanks, guys.
All right, don't go nowhere. I'm just gonna drop you down.
All right.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I appreciate y'all tuning in tonight. That was a really interesting interview right there. It's the first time I've interviewed that somebody that wasn't just, strictly a wrestler, someone that's actually, done a little bit of the wrestling, but reffing, the music, done a lot of the different aspects. So hopefully you really enjoyed this one. I know I did. Make sure you subscribe to everything that we do. Share the videos, get it out there. And if you tuned in late, make sure you go back and watch the opening, see all the different shows that are popping up around Arkansas. And make sure just support Arkansas wrestling. I mean, we want this to grow. We want this to become bigger than what it is. We don't want a stigma about it. We want this to be the place that people want to come and work. And it looks like it's starting to work because there's a lot of big shows coming up. There's a lot of big names coming into town. So, make sure you hit up a show. And I appreciate y'all for watching. Have a good night.